Done a little bit more work on the Wiley Coyote project. If you're tuning in for the first time, what I'm doing is I'm taking everything out of this 2014 Mustang GT. Drivetrain, wiring harness, interior, suspension, everything, and moving it into this 2009 base V6 Mustang. Previously, I pulled the engine and transmission, wiring harness, everything out of here, and that went fairly well. A little bit more work getting this 5-liter ready to pull out. It's a lot tighter fit in the engine bay. And also, too, I wanted to make sure I labeled everything really well so I could put it all back together. But I did leave the wiring harness intact on the engine itself. I disconnected it from the battery, ECM, and the fuse box, and I think I've got the wiring harness separated from the body. So we'll see when it comes out if everything is disconnected. And also I've put this plate on in place of the intake manifold, which I think will make it a lot easier to lift out. I really couldn't see any other good mounting locations for a chain to lift this thing out of here. Another area that was kind of difficult was disconnecting the catalytic converters from the exhaust manifolds. If you pull the ECM and fuse box and all the stuff off the front, you can sneak an extension on a 1/2-inch breaker bar through there. If you use a universal joint, you can get it onto the nuts for the catalytic converters, and they're on there really well. I did put penetrating oil on them. Some I heated a little bit, and I was able to get them off, but other ones I couldn't really get a torch on well to heat, so I just broke them. So we'll have to replace a few studs on there, but at least they're disconnected. That was a bit of a challenge. So next step is to get a helper out here and to spot me while I lift this out. Well, the Coyote is free from the Mustang. It actually went not too bad. It had a couple of little problems. You might have seen from the time lapse, there's a couple of long spells where the engine didn't move. The oil pan got hung up in that K-member down in there. Once we freed that, it popped out. And then also, too, the exhaust manifold wouldn't clear the steering shaft, so we had to disconnect that. That took a little while. We tried disconnecting it from up top, and it wouldn't move. So we experimented a little bit on the steering shaft on this car, and it was easier to disconnect it at the bottom and get it free that way. So we disconnected it there and got the whole shaft out of the way, and then the engine came right out. So anyway, it's sitting over here. It's going to stay there for a while until I get all the wiring, even this brake controller, power steering, or I guess that's ABS there. That has to be switched over, different ABS unit. This one's got electric power steering. That all has to get switched over. Basically everything. There's a lot of work yet. So that's the next step, is to switch everything from this car into there, and then once it's all switched over and I got the engine compartment on this one cleaned up a little bit, the Coyote gets dropped back in there. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.